Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Only Plan A. In this episode, we are going to talk all about potatoes. Did you buy seed potatoes? What is the right schedule to plant? How do we plant it? Let's get into the details of the potatoes. Let's go. I will again split the contents into 5 parts. Number 1 is history of potato. And number 2, which types to grow. And number 3, growing schedule. And number 4, how to plant. And number 5, harvest and maintenance. Potatoes came to Japan in 1598. But it was not used as a staple crop that time. I think it was early 18th century or 19th century starting. There was a famine happened in the northern parts of Japan due to the drop in the rice production. That time, potatoes are considered as a largely cultivated variety in Japan. So it became so famous at that point of time onwards. By the by, do you know why potatoes are called in Japanese as Jagaimo? Think about it. I will tell the answer at the end of the video. Two are very famous. One is called Danshaku. In English it is called Irish cobbler. Second one is called Mayqueen. They both have come during that late 18th century to 19th century, early 19th century period. There are also other famous varieties in Japan like Dejima, Kita Akari and so on and so forth. Which variety is better for me? If you are going to start this potato growing from your first time, then probably I would try to stay with these two varieties, the Danshaku or the Mayqueen. In terms of stability, both are good. That's what I had experienced so far. Only in terms of size, if you see the shape, Danshaku is more rounded shape. Mayqueen is not a rounded one. So Hitakari is more a rounded shape, but only Mayqueen is in a different shape. In Japanese market, Hokkaido is very famous for potato growth seasons, and then whatever you get in the market is mostly coming from Hokkaido, and it's I think 80% of the market, 70 to 80% is covered by the Hokkaido region. And mostly you will see this Danshaku variety and Mayqueen varieties in the Japanese vegetable stores. Which is the right time to grow my potatoes in Japan? So in this Kanto area, there are 2 seasons in which we can plant potato. The first is spring, the second one is autumn. Why it is designed like that is because potatoes stop growing after it has reached the temperature of say 25 degree. And potatoes are also very, it cannot resist the frost. So the period in which the temperature cannot go up and then the temperature cannot go down, that is the period the potatoes can be grown. And in Japan, spring and autumn is a perfect season. Spring, we will have good time to harvest. In autumn, it's going to be a bit difficult considering the current climate changes happening. It may be a little bit difficult in the autumn, but spring is a better season to plant. I have seen the past data of Chiba, and if you notice the past data, you see that in June, July, August, September time frame, you already see the temperatures are going above 25 degrees. And you see sometimes even in the March period, you see the frost can happen. The temperature can touch 0 degree, 1, 2 degrees. So Usually potatoes take 90 days. Depends on the variety, it may vary little bit, but I think Danshaku and Mequeen, you can consider 90 days as your duration. So if you consider from that climate point of view, then I think it is better to start your planting by late February or starting of March. So March, April, May, the three months can be good, and then even if it is getting extended, I think before June we should be able to harvest the potatoes. So here I have 3 varieties, Danshaku, Mequeen and Kitakari. So this Danshaku, you see that it has started producing eyes now, but the Mequeen is yet to produce, and also Kitakari. So if it is not produced this eyes, then what you can do is you can put it in the bright sunlight in the morning hours. Once it started producing eyes, then you can start planting this in the container or in your garden. So now, do we need to cut this or without cutting this? So it depends on 2 things. One is mostly on the first part is about season, and second part is about the size. Size is most important. So in spring, you can still cut it into 2 if the size of the seed potato is kind of like more than 100 grams. If it is less than that, like say 50-60 grams, then you better seed the potato as it is. So for example, this one probably may not be more than like 50 grams. So it's better don't cut this. Directly you can plant it. So now what I did is, this Danshaku is more than 100 grams. So I cut this into half. When I cut this, just make sure that you have minimum 2 eyes. So for example, here you see like there are multiple eyes here. So that's the way you have to cut it. And once you cut this, if you directly plant this, then what happens is that there may be some infection happens. So we have something called somokuhai. Basically it's a wood ash. You touch this wood ash like this, yeah, it's fully covered, and then you can plant it. If you don't want to buy this wood ash, then what you can do is you can cut today and keep it in the sunlight for 1 day, let it get healed, and then next day you plant it. Potato digging is actually fun. Plants will start falling apart, then the leaves will become yellow. Sometimes you may get the flowering, don't worry about it. But I would say if it start putting flowering, then it means that the seeds of, I think you can harvest the seeds. So you harvest it, and then for a long time you can maintain this. So how do we maintain this? It may take some time for the next sprouts to come. But usually you put it in a cardboard box or brown box, brown wrapper, and then make sure that it is not being exposed to sunlight. Then you can maintain this potato and enjoy this potato for a long time. Now the last part. Did you find the answer? Why the name Jagaimo? It got introduced in 1598, right? During that time, the Dutch traders have introduced this to Japan, and it has come from the Indonesia Jakarta port. Now you got it. Jakarta. So that name, it has come from Jakarta. So that Jagaimo, the name which is being used even now, Jagaimo.